October 7th, actually Uriah, he woke me up. I heard him at 7:30 in the morning, waking my mom up. Mom, something happened and you need to drive me to base. It was really unusual to be called up so early in the morning. I mean, we were used to sometimes they called my brothers back even on Shabbat, but more afternoon and stuff like this when they had information something would happen in the West Bank or something like this. So it wasn't unusual, but it was really unusual at the morning. So early in the morning on Shabbat, my mom, she drove him. An hour passed and Surya called me. He was with his friends traveling. He called me, you need to pick me up. I need to go to base. They called me. Second call. And then the third call was my sister. I drove Turiel down and then I drove Rachel to her base. And at the end, I was called up back to my old company. So most of the time we've been working at Be'eri. We came 5 days after October 7th. I didn't realize until I got to Be'eri what really happened. I mean, I heard a lot of things, but to see it, it's something so different. And I started to realize, okay, there's something I couldn't imagine what they have done to those people. But to see all those things and see the houses and moving from one saving room to the other and all the kibbutz is full with blood. All the houses are full with blood or burned down, or every house has his own story. It was totally different. So our task as search and rescue is to find all the bodies under the bombed and blown up houses. It took us a bunch of days, almost a week for that, to first of all to find those bodies, and then to recognize them if they are our people or not ours, because after a week you can't really tell. After a while we still had this long list of missing people. We didn't know what happened to them. We started to connect it to the burned houses. I mean, most of people think they know how a burned body looks like, and I thought that too. I never worked and never did something like this. But in Be'eri, I understood that I don't know nothing. I remember working in the first house, and it was all burned down, and they told me, there is probably someone in here, and you need to find him. So we started looking, and we've been looking for more than 8 hours, and I've been looking for bones, and you know how I think every one of us imagined the burnt body. And just after 2 days that we worked there, they brought us archaeologists. So she went with me in the house, and I told her, listen, we need to find here something, but we looked in all this house and I couldn't find anything, and we moved all the burned things and I can't find anything, but there is a missing name here, and it's probably here because all the people saw him in here in this house. And she was sitting on the ground and they're looking at all the ashes, and then they picked up a piece like this, really this small, and she told me, that's a bone, that's a part of a bone. So then I started to realize what we're looking at and what we're searching for, because we're not searching for long bones or I don't know, a skull or whatever we imagined. We've been looking for pieces like this because they had so much time to burn them down, and there was so much time until the army got there and the firemen and all these things to help out, that the bodies, we couldn't even recognize it as a body. It looked like every piece of ashes at those houses. So we've been looking for pieces like this, and we spent there almost 3 weeks, more than 10 burned houses, to find and collect all those small pieces, and we found a lot of them. Even after I left, the archaeologists keep searching there and searching, and every day you could find something else and more information and more things and hair, and it was a never-ending zone. Like, I knew every morning I'm gonna find something else, and we probably gonna find another name and another name and another name, and more collecting pieces of information about what happened to every one of those people. After I ended in Be'eri, the old officer, he came back to the company. So I went in together with my officer and with 3 companies inside. I was directly with her, helping her make decisions and helping her to spread out the other officers and the companies and all the things, because we've been a lot of soldiers inside there. We got a lot of different missions inside Gaza because our unit was never in Gaza like this for a long period of time. And so it was something really new for us. The army prefers not to put women inside of the war zones, and I get it. But in this case, because of the hostages and the wars and the war zone, it might be, and there were a big chance that hostages are under bombed houses or somewhere that the army can't get there without the search and rescue unit, because we are the only unit in the whole IDF that can do such a thing and find it. We have the dogs and we have cameras and we have a lot of things to find it. And they got a lot of information about terrorists they caught, and they told them where they might be or might have been, or which one of them were killed. So we didn't get names of the hostages, but they told us, you go there is a house, it's bombed, and there are probably hostages. So that was the main mission in Gaza for us. We had a mission at night and we were preparing for it, and I was really excited because we probably would find something on this mission, and I would be one of those soldiers who would been choosing to go to this mission. And I was preparing myself for it, and then she came to me, told me, "Odelia, you go out," just like this. And I was like, "No, I'm not. I want to stay here." She was, "No, you need to go out." And I was like, "I don't understand you. Why? What happened?" And then she told me, "Your brother got injured." So I didn't have my phone and I didn't have anything. They took me out immediately, and I got my phone back. I was like, "Okay, calm down." A lot of injured soldiers, they're getting out of their injured and ending up being fine. And I was like, the only thing I'm asking you, God, is please not head injured, because most of the soldiers who are head injured ending up dead. And I came to the hospital. They drove me until the hospital. I came, I spoke to the doctor, and guess what? He was head injured. It was really hard. My parents, they had a long drive from the north. It took them almost 4 hours to come with a taxi, so it was way harder for them, knowing all the way that their son is injured and they can't get to him as fast as they could. And yeah, we've been praying all the time. A lot of people came by, and Surya was released from Gaza. And we've been sitting and just waiting what would happen. He got a bullet in his head, and the doctors, they made a lot of checkings and trying to find a way, maybe yes, maybe not. And after 4 days, they told us that they can't help him and his brain is dead. It was too hard damage and a lot of blood was coming out all the time, so his head was dead, his brain. And we had to decide to remove him from the machines and all the things. And they decided it after 4 days, when they told us there's nothing to do and he's not with us and he's not going to come, and he's breathing only because of the machines, not because he would do it without. Yeah, and 2 days later we had a funeral. I think you don't really understand until a little bit of time passed by, because it was at the funeral, it was just, I can't really believe that this is happening to us, and I don't think it's real. And you always get the feeling like, okay, tomorrow it's probably coming back at home. We're used to, the last 5 years I've been in the army, so I came home every 2 to 4 weeks. Like it took a long time to come home every time, especially at Corona time. So we've been used not to see each other for a long period of time, because we are all soldiers. We've been 3 soldiers together in the army on the regular duty, me, Tzurila, and Uriah. So it wasn't hard to not see him for a long time, and it feels like, okay, he's gonna come back probably in 2 weeks and everything is fine. I do remember the morning of the funeral, when a bunch of people outside of our house holding Israel flags, and all the way, it was like 4 kilometers away from our home to the cemetery, full with people, all the schools closed early this day just to bring all the students out with Israel flags and helping. We got a lot of support, and the city, they know us, all the schools, they knew the place, and a lot of the people who live around us know that about the nursing home. The most of them have been to our nursing home visiting or anything else. My parents decided they wanted Shiva after the funeral. It did a lot of good to my parents to see how much people appreciate what they have done and how they raised us. And I'm young, and I always see just like this, because I grew up and it's obvious for me, I'm Israeli first and then just German or anything else, and I don't really like titles, but I'm Israeli first before everything else. But now I realize more and more that it's really special to have parents like mine and grandparents like mine that see the whole picture, not just their own life and the life they could have in Germany with their families and with their friends and everything, and they left everything, especially my mom, to come and help Am Yisrael, because she truly believed that is the way to show Am Yisrael that God loves them. And that's the reason she gave up everything in Germany to come and be a volunteer there. They're not working in Israel, they're volunteering still. And she sent it for our children at the 7th of October to war, and knowing that 4 of us are in combat units. And she knew it could happen. She knew it. But you're always hoping it's not your child. That's how she is saying it. My parents are the strongest people I know, I think. Even at the hospital, when there was a chance that Uriah would get out, or we thought there would be a chance, they always tell all the people who came by, and if God wants, He gave him to us, and we had him 20 years. And if He wants to take him, it's His right. I have a little bit difficulty with this. I'm a little bit angry about it, because but they see it like this, and it's something I think not many people can see, and they truly believe that they're gonna see him again in heaven. I believe so too, but they really live like this, and they like, He gave him to us, and he was a present for us for 20 years. And if he could move the bullet 25 centimeters and it wouldn't hit his head, but it did. And it did to Uriah. His whole team was in the room while he was hit by this bullet, and it could hit anyone, but it hit just Uriah, and 5 millimeters, it wouldn't hit him. They believe it's the way, and God gave him to us 20 years ago, and now He's taking him for us. And they are really happy about the time they had with him.